What do we got here, mate?
We got Marcos's 2008 race-winning Watkins Glen car. So I've been pretty privileged today to go out and go do a few laps here at Queensland Raceway. So as they say, they do everything bigger and better in America. So it was great to drive today, and you know, she's got a lot of power under the hood.
You grew up racing in America. You moved over there when you were a nipper. You know a lot about these cars. You were pretty excited when I said, hey, Crush needs someone to shake down his car, and you spent a good week going through this and making sure it was all ready to go. So whoever gets it is going to have a pretty good car, aren't they?
Yeah, surprisingly I actually didn't have to do too much, so I think I just tinkered with it just because I liked, you know, working on it. So brings back a lot of good memories for me, and you know, she's definitely a beautiful piece. So under the hood here we've got a Roush Yates Ford power plant. She'll be pushing roughly around just over 800 horsepower. So back then all the Ford manufacturers would have got a motor from Roush Yates. So yeah. Everyone would have had the same, you know, the same power plant if they ran a Ford. So
cool.
She definitely feels like she had about 800 today. That's all I know.
CNR radio?
Yeah, correctly.
PWR now owned?
Yeah, PWR now owned. So it's a pretty big radiator unit, and they actually used to pressurise the systems up to around about 110 psi. So
what's going on here?
This is where all the air comes in to cool the front radiator down.
What's with the taping?
The tape's actually all placed in certain spots for the most efficient way to cool the engine, and also for aerodynamics, you know, as well.
So this would be, if it was getting hot, they could pull a bit of tape on a pit stop?
They just pull it off on a pit stop.
Yeah.
So very simple but effective and cheap. So.
Look at the tethers there, mate. What are they for?
They're all there in case, you know, they have a bit of a high-speed crash, and stops the wheels flying off. So I'm pretty sure that these guys were the first in NASCAR to have wheel tethers, and supercars, you know, soon followed with a similar style setup. So
steel body, all steel body.
Yep, this is all steel body. So back then they made all these bodies out of hand. So it's a bit of a lost art now. Everything's all fiberglass or carbon fiber now.
I want to have a look at the pedals in this car, because this proves that this car is super authentic. This is one of the only NASCARs I've seen with the throttle pedal and the brake pedal the right hand side of the steering column.
Yeah, correct. We're set up for Marcos, so obviously, you know, coming from supercars, he's still a lot of right foot braking. So as you can see down in the pedal box here, the brake and the throttle are really close together, set up for right foot braking. So there would have been only a handful of guys back then doing that. So Marcos would have been one of them, and you know, definitely since this car, everyone's, you know, seemed to migrated more towards that way for road course racing. So he definitely changed the way of the game. They look pretty basic, but they're a pretty aerodynamic car. They got all these fins across the top here, and all that stuff's for oval racing. So they pretty much just used to chuck a road course setup in and go racing back then.
What about if you want to adjust the wing, mate? Just give it a...
That's what they do in pit stops. So
sure, they're always pulling up.
Yeah, back in the day. So they used to go through tech inspection prior to the race, and they used to have to meet a certain wing angle back then. Yeah. But as soon as you know, all the guys go to push the car off, leaving the pits.
Is that what they're pushing?
Yep, yeah, that's why they're pushing there. So
put more aero back on it.
Yeah, so they've changed. They've changed all the rules now, so they can't do that anymore. We got the
fuel cell.
We've got the big old gas tank. So
road course fuel cell. It even says it on it.
Yep, it'll be a road course fuel cell. Very simple filler system. So you know how you see the guys with the big old cans come in and fill them up. Yep, straight in with a churn. So. They still use all this system to this day, so that hasn't changed in, you know, many years. So, and as you can see down here, we've got the original rub marks that Marcos had during the race. So the car's been kept authentic and literally driven straight off, you know, the truck out from the race and put into storage.
All the Safecraft fire extinguisher systems.
Yeah, fuel line runs through the cockpit of the car. It's highlighted in red just in case.
That's like in the movie Days of Thunder.
It is.
When he says, I'm going to give you an extra large fuel.
Gallon of gas. Yeah.
There's the extra large fuel.
Yeah, exactly right. So back through there, and 4-speed G-force box. They run backup ignition systems, backup batteries.
2 of everything, eh?
Yeah, 2 of everything in case something fails. So.
Look where his brake price is too. He would have put that there.
Oh, nice and close so we can adjust it. Yeah, yep.
Americans wouldn't have been onto that.
No. Also too, something about this car that's pretty interesting is all the cooling as well. So I think Marcos probably would have asked for, you know, foot coolers and, you know,
stuff taken from here.
Yeah, correct. So taken from Australia. So that's also pretty cool to see. Something that I didn't see when I was over there. Yeah. So that's definitely pretty cool to see.
Look where they pull the air from, mate. Just from
straight from the cow. Yep.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Very simple, effective, and Very clean and fresh air up there, so pretty cool piece. Whoever buys this car is going to have a wonderful piece of history and a beautiful car in the garage.
Good today, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? Yeah, definitely punched out some pretty good lap times.
We can't even wash it, mate, because I still reckon
it's got the Gatorade stains on the top.
It hasn't been washed.
It's got the
original.
Yeah, it's got all the Gatorade stains still on the top, so I was under strict.
It's an original car, and it's hard to find them that haven't been bastardised, has it?
Yeah, correct. So usually cars in America, they get robbed and they put them into a new chassis, but we're pretty lucky to be driving his authentic race-winning car here today.